My fellow Americans, it is with a heavy heart that I address you today, here now, at this hour, the day before our Independence Day. With the passage of the big, beautiful bill, many of the things, the freedoms, the privileges, the ideals, these beliefs and values that we as a nation have held dear to our hearts since our very inception have now officially become under attack. Many can argue that there are so many steps to fascism and that what is happening in today's administration is not that. But historically, it is precisely that. With the passage of this bill, ICE has now become the most heavily funded federal policing agency in the country. Already acting with impunity, already acting without any oversight or accountability, this has now been expanded by a factor of 20, eclipsing such agencies as the FBI, the ATF, the federal marshals, and our corrections system. Additionally, we now have a situation where the judiciary is no longer able to hold the president or this administration accountable for their actions, effectively eroding what few checks and balances remain in the United States of America, effectively giving Donald Trump dictatorial powers or those he deems as his agent. Now, that being said, what does that mean for you and me? What does that mean for the future of America? If this is the final death knell, if this is the step 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 of autocracy, what can we do to fight back? Why are you even recording this video? Why should I even watch or care if things are so dire? Surely it's exaggeration. Surely it is hyperbole. Surely it is not as bleak as you make it out to be. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is precisely why I am making this video. To inform you that the time to act was yesterday, but the second best time to act is today, because tomorrow may in fact be too late. We are in the beginning stages of autocracy. We are in the beginning stages of what we could refer to as the Fourth Reich. When Hitler took over Germany, when Nazis took over Germany, it took them 53 days to undermine the Constitution, their Constitution. It took them 53 days to consolidate power within the executive, but it took a much longer amount of time for the fear, for the oppression, for the control, for that power to truly solidify into what would become eventually the Nazi regime that would eventually lead to World War II and the genocide of the Jewish people. What I'm saying is the alarm bells are ringing. The fires have been set. The first shots have, in fact, been fired. And as the founder of Project 2025 themselves said, we are fighting a class war and we are winning a bloodless war because the people do not know that they are even fighting a war. I'm informing you that we are, and that this war will only continue to escalate. It may not target you today. Those who share similar cultural and ethnic backgrounds as I do may not be impacted directly for the time being. Not unless you intend to travel outside of the United States, including Canada or Mexico. Not unless you're a dissenter of this administration. Not unless you shop at grocery stores. Not unless you have friends, family, and neighbors who aren't American. Not unless you don't fit the description. Not unless your job fires you. Not unless AI replaces you. Not unless your social media, even 10 or 15 years ago, says something mildly unbecoming, or you try to discuss political events, current events, or just discuss medical issues. Too many things have become vulnerable with this one bill, and it goes far beyond the intent of this video to go through them all. Suffice to say, now is the time for we, the people, to remember why we are celebrating the 4th of July tomorrow. And that is because we fought a war of independence from a tyrannical and oppressive government who did not give us representation, who taxed us into what we considered oblivion at the time, who use the military as a police force, who do not listen to our concerns about what is happening in our homes, and treated us as criminals in our own lands. We fought a war of independence against them, a revolution against the British Empire. And today, the self-same material conditions that existed then exist now, instead of it being an external threat, an empire, Britain, France, what have you, it is our own administration, it is our own president who thinks that they are above the Constitution, they are beyond the far reach of the law. And it is up to us to remind them that we celebrate a day in which it was unequivocally declared that is not the case. So on this Independence Day, I challenge each and every single one of you to dig deep into your American roots. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, is this the land of the free, home of the brave? Is this the way a patriot would act? Or would a patriot stand?